From the moment Prince Harry stepped off the plane in Colombia, it was evident that this would not be a routine diplomatic visit. The tension was palpable, as Colombia's President Gustavo Francisco had already made his position clear. He demanded a formal apology from the British royal family for their historical involvement in the transatlantic slave trade. This visit, meant to strengthen ties and foster goodwill, quickly spiraled into a standoff that could have far-reaching consequences. As Prince Harry stood on the dais during the official welcoming ceremony, President Francisco wasted no time in addressing the elephant in the room. Before the ceremonial pleasantries were even completed, Francisco confronted Harry with a chilling accusation. The British monarchy, he claimed, had built its wealth on the backs of enslaved Africans. He demanded an apology, not just as a symbolic gesture, but as a necessary acknowledgement of the atrocities committed by the royal family's ancestors. The confrontation was as public as it was unexpected. Cameras captured every word, every uncomfortable shift in posture. The usually composed Prince Harry appeared visibly unsettled, unprepared for such a direct challenge. This was not the kind of welcome he had anticipated, and the gravity of the situation was sinking in. But President Francisco was not done. He doubled down on his demands, making it clear that he would not meet with Prince Harry again unless the royal family issued a formal, unequivocal apology. The message was clear. Colombia would not continue diplomatic engagements until this historical wrong was addressed. The situation escalated rapidly as Francisco hinted at mobilizing his supporters, threatening to ignite widespread protests across the country if his demands were not met. The implications of this standoff were not lost on the global community. News outlets from around the world began to cover the unfolding drama, recognizing that this was more than just a diplomatic dispute. It was a confrontation with the potential to shake the very foundations of the British monarchy. The royal family, already under scrutiny for its colonial past, now faced a direct and public challenge that could not be easily ignored. The timing of this confrontation could not have been more sensitive. In recent years, there has been a growing movement to address the legacies of colonialism and slavery, with former colonies demanding reparations and apologies from their former colonizers. The British royal family, with its long and complicated history, has often been at the center of these demands. But never before had a member of the royal family been confronted so directly and so publicly. As the standoff continued, the pressure on Prince Harry, and by extension, the entire royal family, mounted. Would they issue the apology President Francisco demanded? Or would they risk further damaging their reputation and their relationships with former colonies around the world? The situation remained tense, with the possibility of massive protests looming over Prince Harry's visit. The global community watched closely, aware that the outcome of this confrontation could set a precedent for other nations with similar grievances. The royal family, long seen as a symbol of British history and tradition, now found itself at a crossroads, with its future relationship with the global South hanging in the balance. As the world waited for a resolution, one thing was clear. This was no longer just about a single apology. It was about acknowledging a dark chapter in history and deciding how, or if, the British monarchy could reconcile with its past. The stakes had never been higher, and the outcome of this diplomatic crisis could reverberate far beyond the borders of Colombia.